Hey everybody, welcome to the studio of Carini Arts. It is hump day for me, so happy hump day, but you may find this video on another day, so may it help you get over whatever humps you are facing in your life. I just got back from my run. I had mentioned earlier that I always do these talks when I'm like just depleted and completely blah. And I feel like it's probably a good time to do it though, because my goal is never to have a polished video, but just to be candid and honest in my stories and my experiences and to show you that, hey, sometimes you got to put in the work. So thank you to everybody that's been able to make it out to my show that has been local to San Diego. If you can't or haven't, it's up for another day and I'll post videos and stuff like that you can check out. You can also go to cariniarts.com. You can find my other social media platforms. And I want to let you know that if you can't make it to the shows of your artist friends or you're not looking to buy work, you're not in the market for artwork, you can support them with your likes, your comments, and in particular, your shares. I am not the most popular here on YouTube, but I'm trying and I make the videos for the person that will stumble across them at 3 a.m. middle of the week and just need a helping hand. And today I want to talk about something that has been on my mind for a bit. And it's that for so long, I avoided fully committing to my dream because I kept asking myself, but what if I fail? But what if I fail? But what if I fail? There was this fear of failure. And so a lot of times, what we'll do to avoid having to deal with that is we'll just circumnavigate it. We'll just take the easy road, the prescribed path that life gives us. And I kind of rode the fence on it because when I finished college, because I went to school for art, I did focus on my art, but I also got a job. And the job was kind of in a parallel industry. So my thought process is, well, I'll do this, but for a limited time, and I'll grow to a point that I can sever from the job and then I could just focus on the art. And once I have X amount of dollars, I'll be able to do that. And I've always been right and left brain, so I've been pretty practical in my approach, and I've never been a person that liked fancy things or status. So I had just a basic car. I got a Scion XB, something that was boxy that I could put a lot of artwork in. So I'm always thinking about the art. And I got a job in an industry that was somewhat parallel to my art, so I could kind of utilize some of the things that I learned there and have access to new materials. And fast forward a number of years, and I was able to pay off my car and pay off my student loans almost 10 years early with the money that I made off my art, which was like a big feat for me. It was something that I was very proud of and one of my favorite stories to share because I know how many people have student loans and how much you're paying off. And I did it. So it's one of those things that I can tell people with pride in the sense that I hope that I can imbue them with this sense of confidence and pride of, hey, you can do it. It is possible because I went to a private university, had to put myself through working multiple jobs and also taking out substantial loans, but I was able to pay them off. And it was with the money that I made off my art, which was just like the extra bit of like whipped cream on the cake type of thing. And so in theory, I opened up things for myself. I bought my freedom, so to speak. Yet, fast forward to around 2019, I was at another job, same industry, but I was making less money than I was just a couple of years out of college. And cost of living had gone way up. I've lived in the same apartment since shortly after finishing college, and it now costs almost twice as much as when I moved in. So the overhead went up dramatically. Like life will constantly move the goalposts on you. And I think that that's one of the illusions is that life gives us this prescribed path and this illusion of security. And you say, well, I'll do this when I reach this point, when I reach this point. You may actually reach that point, but what happens is life moves the goalpost and keeps moving it back. So it's further and further to reach. So 2019, I looked at things and I said, you know what? I did everything right in a sense. Everything that I was supposed to do, I was extremely practical. I was responsible. I saved as much as I could. And yet here I am going backwards. And so I was at this point physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, just broken down, beat down. I was ready to just give up on life. I was just done. And I thought to myself, okay, well, let's look at this. All these years I said, well, what if I fail? Well, what if I fail? And finally I said to myself, well, what if I don't? Because I realized that I had been failing at the thing that I didn't even want, this illusion of security. And in a way, that's actually a great success because it showed me, hey, you can still get on this that you want to be on. And we always think that we have more time. We say, well, I'm not ready when I'm ready. Nobody's ever ready. Sometimes you just got to take the chance, and there's a finite amount of time. So take advantage of the time that you have because you will never get more time than the time that you have right now. So now is the time for you to do something. But I looked at it and I had been going backwards. I've been going backwards. And so I said, finally, well, what if I don't fail? What if I do actually make this happen? What if it is possible to just do the art thing and against all odds make this work? And I realized at that point that I'd been lying to myself for a long time because it wasn't a fear of failure necessarily. It partially was a fear of failure, but it was equally, if not more so, a fear of success. Well, what if I do make it? What if I can make this happen? And then I have to be self-governing. And then I have to keep raising the bar. And it was this fear of this pressure, this fear of success. So we talk about fear of failure, but a lot of times, maybe deep down, it's really a fear of success rather than failure, or a combination of the two. I would say it was a combination of the two for me, but I think more so it was fear of the success of learning what I was really capable of doing, of knowing that there was this innate greatness inside of me. Not that I'm better than anybody else, but that I could do something great if I was willing to put in the work, the time, and the energy, and to just be relentless. And at the point that I was ready to just give up on life, I thought to myself, well, if I'm already willing to give up on life, like why not take a chance and go after this thing that I want? And if I fail at that point, and by fail I mean just fall short, at least I'll know that I was going after the thing that I wanted, that I took a shot at this thing that I want. And if I do that, that's not even a failure. That's just okay, maybe you fall short, but at least you're going after the thing you want and you feel fulfilled in that. So there is nothing to lose in fully committing to what you want. And it was cutting off the parachute in 2019 that really allowed me to fly because I thought that that security blanket, that parachute was helping, but really what it was doing, it was catching wind and it was pulling me down and it was dragging me down. So I thought it was helping me, but really it's the thing that was killing me. And once I fully committed, that's when things started to work for me. Now, is it easy? Hell no. It's harder than hell. But I'm doing what I want to do. And I'm big into fitness, and so people a lot of times will be like, "Well, why do you post a lot of stuff about like fitness and stuff? What does that have to do with art?" It has everything to do with it because it comes down to my mentality of conditioning, of working to grow at all times, and this mentality that I have that I'm not competing with anybody else, I'm competing with myself. So I train for myself, not for any competitions, but I train in essence to fight the devil on my worst day, mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. I prepare myself to fight against all obstacles and to overcome whatever I need to overcome on any given day. And if you have that type of mentality, that starving artist mentality that I avoided for so long because I thought, well, I don't want to be a starving artist because that just means that I don't have any money. And then I'm going to be a failure because I was listening to what other people were saying on ideas of status. And you have to have a 401k and you have to have a house and you have to have this type of car and you have to have a significant other and be able to buy them this and that and spend this much salary on this. And it's all bullshit. People are lying to you. You don't need any of that. You could live a simple life and live your dream. But we listen to what other people say that we should do, people that aren't even happy with their own lives. So those are not the people to listen to. I was unhappy and angry for so long. And the reason is because I knew in my gut that I was meant to be doing something else. But I listened to what other people told me for far too long. And when I finally started listening to myself, doors opened. And I was amazed at this entirely new world that opened up for me of all these new things that I saw. And so now I try to share that with others to open up the doors of possibility for them. So is it easy? Hell no. It's hard. But sadly, but a benefit to you is that the majority of people are not going to want to strain. They're not going to want to suffer. They're going to want to be comfortable. And so as life continues to move the goals, as things get harder and harder, more and more people are going to want to quit on their dreams. And if those people are quitting and you want to ride out on your shield and go to the very end, it is absolutely possible for you to live your dream, to do what you want to do. Things are only impossible until you make them happen and prove everybody wrong. Create your own path, go your own way. Don't listen to other people. Take a chance. So it's time to stop asking yourself, well, what if I fail? And it's time to start asking yourself, well, what if I don't? See you next time.